ChatGPT. Relate ACIM to the movie Life as a House. Life as a House through the lens of A Course in Miracles. ACIM. Life as a House is a deeply moving story about healing relationships, releasing the past, dismantling false identities, and discovering what truly matters when time appears limited. Through the lens of ACIM, it becomes a powerful lesson in forgiveness, purpose, and the undoing of the ego's defenses. At its heart, the film asks, if all the distractions fell away, what would remain important? This is one of the central questions of ACIM. The house as a symbol. The house itself is the film's central symbol. George decides to tear down his old house and rebuild it from the ground up. From an M perspective, the house symbolizes the self-concept. Over the years, the ego constructs an identity, beliefs, defenses, grievances, judgments, roles, stories. Eventually, much of what has been built no longer serves. The spiritual path often involves dismantling what was falsely constructed so that something more authentic can emerge. The rebuilding of the house symbolizes the undoing and healing of the mind. George's terminal diagnosis functions as a wake-up call. The ego interprets such events as tragedy. ACIM invites another perspective. Sometimes the collapse of certainty creates an opportunity to remember what truly matters. The diagnosis strips away distractions, future plans lose their dominance, old priorities begin to look different. The question shifts from, what do I want to accomplish, to how do I want to live now? This movement is central to the Course's teaching on the holy instant. Forgiveness and relationships. The heart of the movie is not the construction project. It is the healing of relationships. George's relationship with his son has been damaged by years of misunderstanding, hurt, and distance. Teaches that every relationship is a classroom for forgiveness, not because mistakes never occurred, but because healing becomes possible when grievances are released. The rebuilding of the house mirrors the rebuilding of connection. Both require honesty, patience, willingness, and forgiveness. Tash, the collapse of the persona. George begins the movie carrying a particular identity. A disappointed man, a frustrated father, a victim of circumstances. The ego always builds stories about who we are. The movie gradually dismantles these stories. As defenses soften, a more genuine version of George emerges. Teaches that awakening involves releasing self-concepts. The self God created is not defined by past mistakes or personal history. The movie beautifully illustrates this process. The son as a mirror. George's son serves as a mirror. The relationship exposes wounds in both directions. The ego often believes that others are the source of our pain. Teaches that relationships reveal what is already present in the mind. What appears as conflict becomes an opportunity for healing. The father and son are not merely repairing a relationship. They are uncovering layers of fear, guilt, and misunderstanding that have accumulated over years. Building versus awakening. The movie contains an interesting paradox. A physical house is being built, yet the deeper work is internal. Repeatedly points out that external projects are never the real source of peace. The true work occurs in the mind. The house becomes valuable not because of its structure, but because of what is learned through building it together. The form is temporary. The healing is what matters. The gift of the present. As George becomes increasingly aware of time's apparent limits, his attention shifts toward the present moment. Small moments gain significance. Conversations become meaningful. Relationships become precious. ACM teaches that the present moment is the only place where healing occurs. The ego lives in future concerns and past grievances. The Holy Spirit lives now. The film beautifully illustrates this shift from postponement to presence. Death and legacy. One of the deepest themes in the movie concerns what truly remains. The ego seeks permanence through accomplishments, possessions, and reputation. The film suggests something different. What remains is love, connection, forgiveness, the lives touched, the hearts healed. Teaches that only love is real, everything else passes. The movie repeatedly points toward this realization. And the Shraj, the central reflection. The ego watches life as a house and asks, what can I build before time runs out? The Holy Spirit watches life as a house and asks, what relationships can be healed right now? Viewed through the movie becomes a powerful metaphor for the dismantling of false identities and the rebuilding of the mind through forgiveness. The house symbolizes the structures we construct to protect ourselves. The healing begins when we become willing to let those structures be transformed. The deepest message may be, the greatest construction project is not the house we build in the world. It is the restoration of love where fear once stood. When forgiveness becomes the foundation, what is built endures far beyond the forms of time. Go to mwge.org to find full movie and commentary by David Hoffmeister.